Today's documentary, The Edge of the Known World, Ibn Battuta's Odyssey. The blade was cold against his throat. In the stark desert light, the bandit's eyes held no mercy. Ibn Battuta, the scholar from Tangier, felt the grit of sand on his lips and the crushing truth. No one in the world knew where he was. His caravan had vanished over the horizon. His wealth, his papers, his very identity as a qadi, a judge, all were being stripped from him. For the first time in his 75,000-mile odyssey, his faith in humanity and his faith in God wavered as one. He prayed silently, the words catching in his dry throat. It had begun with a longing he couldn't name. In 1325 CE, at 21, he had kissed his weeping mother goodbye in Tangier. His dark eyes looked east, towards Mecca. He was just a pilgrim then. But the road had a will of its own. His first shock of the impossible was in Egypt. The pyramids of Giza. He stood before them, a tiny figure in flowing wool, and felt his learned certainty crumble. He did what no sane man should do. He climbed one. Stone by treacherous stone, his leather sandals slipping, until the world flattened beneath him. He saw a civilization that made his own seem an infant. It was a humbling that ignited a hunger. The pilgrimage was just the beginning. Mecca shattered him with sanctity, but it was the black stone of the Kaaba that rooted him to the spot. He watched pilgrims press their lips to the celestial rock, embedded in silver. He touched it, a fragment of heaven said to have been given to Abraham. The sensory overload of the Hajj, the thunder of prayers, the smell of sacrifice, the swirling sea of humanity, was a world away from the silent pyramids. The road then became a gauntlet. In Anatolia, he was betrayed by a guide who abandoned him in a mountain pass. Snow-blind and shivering in his thin Moroccan robes, he stumbled into a Turkish village, a spectacle of frost-bearded despair. In the lavish court of the Sultan of Delhi, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he witnessed gold and terror in equal measure. The Sultan, a mad genius, appointed him a judge, then months later, in a fit of paranoia, cast him into house arrest. False hope came with a royal mission. He was sent as an ambassador to China. The voyage became a nightmare. A storm in the Indian Ocean caught his ship. For days, the world was a roaring, heaving chaos. Planks groaned like dying beasts. They survived, shipwrecked on a hostile shore. Stripped of his diplomatic status, he was a castaway. He found himself in the Maldives, a string of emerald islands that seemed like paradise. The coconut palm astonished him, a tree of life. He married into power, becoming a chief judge, settling into a life of ease. But the calm was a trap. When he tried to leave, the islanders, reliant on his learned authority, threatened to destroy his ship. His escape was a desperate, moonlit affair. China was a hallucination of advanced alien civilization. In the bustling port of Chuanzhou, he saw ships larger than any castle, with gardens and cabins on deck. He handled paper money, the imperial chow, and was baffled. "The people use pieces of paper for money," he wrote, his scholar's mind reeling. He walked streets illuminated at night by lamps, a marvel of public order. Yet everywhere, he was a spectacle, his dark beard, his Moroccan robes marking him as an outsider. The greatest physical terror waited in West Africa. On the great bend of the Niger River, his boat crew went silent with a fear deeper than any storm. Then, the water exploded. A hippopotamus, a monstrous river horse of mythic proportion, surfaced beside their fragile vessel. The beast circled, a mountain of wet flesh and rage. They beat drums, shouted, threw spears that bounced off its hide. His final great wonder was a wall, not of China, but of Constantinople. As an attendant in the retinue of a Mongol Khan's wife, he entered the fabled Christian capital. He walked the immense, double-layered Theodosian walls, feeling the cold stone under his hand. He saw the golden dome of Hagia Sophia, though as a Muslim, he was forbidden to enter. He met the Byzantine Emperor Andronikos III, a pale, bearded man in silks, in a court dripping with icons and incense. When he finally returned to Tangier in 1354, after 29 years, he was a ghost in his own home. His parents were long dead. He dictated his Rila to a scholar, Ibn Juzay, pouring out a lifetime of marvels and terrors. But the memories were not just of sights. They were of the blade in the desert, the hippo's roar, the crushing loneliness. He had walked the edge of the known world and returned, carrying the scars of a man who had learned a terrifying, glorious truth. The world was infinitely vast, endlessly strange, and utterly indifferent. His journey was a testament to the fragile, breathtaking courage of simply seeing. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to our channel. We bring you fascinating documentaries on history, science, civilizations, mysteries, and the untold stories that shaped our world. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new release. See you in the next one.